purple guy. God damn it. I broke this. I really need a hit. I don't feel very good. It's me, JJ, and I've been trying to do productive videos like product reviews and also how to repair things, how to survive in a world that doesn't care about you, and other various useful information bits like that. And I hurt. I need to do one of these. These fucking numb things, they make you numb. It's laughing gas. It makes you laugh because all your pain goes away, and that's a happy feeling. Also, it does get you high. Some people laugh when they get high. I personally might do both. And you can see the iMac is working because I am awesome. Number one with a bullet. Whatever, dude. Who has a gun right now? I don't have nothing. I'm just trying to get rid of this crazy pain that I have in my belly button and this crazy pain I have in my neck. This stupid thing isn't working. I think I need to do this trick because the batteries, it has to resync. Yeah. Are you watching the Google Trends? I don't think so because my camera, it's taking up the whole picture, right? Oh no. I think the batteries are dead. That's why this thing isn't working. I think I got some batteries around. I can't focus, man. I'm in pain. You can watch the screensaver, or you can watch me use a goddamn Ziploc bag because the balloon broke. It's ridiculous, dude. Hey, the good thing about being ridiculous is, uh-oh, that's backwards. The good thing about being ridiculous is you're not afraid to look ridiculous. Sometimes, in order to be a scientist or a survivor, you need to be willing to try things, and sometimes trying things makes a person look ridiculous, right? Because, hey, what do you think you're doing, ridiculous person? That's never going to work. And then that's when the ridiculous person says, I don't care. I have to do something because you may think I'm ridiculous, but you've got every privilege in the world and I have nothing. And I have to live too. So fuck it if I look ridiculous. I gotta live too. I'm in pain. This isn't even fun. When I was a kid, I did these things for fun, man. When I was like this tall, I never got to do too many for fun because they're kind of expensive. You know what I mean? Oh, thank God. Damn it. Oh. Music, sweet music, I wish I could caress. Uh, Jadon Central, Fed, Dortmund versus PSG. Pablo Lorraine, Belge, Isru El Tenerife, Internazionale Roma, Chingchong Nakatawa, SC Magdeburg, Chingchong 你心疼，你心上涨。 Olivia Rodrigo, President Jokowi, Shine, Omega Paxio Exatipula FC Groningen, Realm C65, is that Commodore Coventry, Feliz, Dia del Trabajada, Traha, Trabajador, uh, Danny, Kybok, Pochton, Dortmund again, Europa League, Kaiser, Ganj, Loke, Sabha. Hmm, hmm. I feel better, but I'd like to feel better. I feel better, but I'd like to feel better. Does that make sense? You know what I mean? Like I was saying a second ago, I used to do these for fun. Like usually in a social setting, like at a techno rave. Now I'm relying on them as a primary pain control mechanism. Can you believe that? Whatever, dude. Hey, life is good. Live it, right? Guess I didn't deflect that balloon. Good week, adult. Fat show. It's Samantha birthday. Yeah, man. Well, hey, Australian, Nadal, Rubber, Cranky, Chelsea versus Tottenham, Rabbitohs versus Panthers, Ronnie O'Sullivan, Jerry Seinfeld. Jerry Seinfeld is trending, ladies and gentlemen, on Google Trends. Arlington something UCL. Is that UCLA minus the A? X Pain. That looks like some Islam. Paris. Uh, Arvid Nayland. Dortmund. Dow. Whitefish. PSG. Clippers. Mavericks. Not Clippers versus Mavericks, just Clippers Mavericks. That's awfully lazy in it. Don't you think? Can you agree? Whatever, I'm pretty lazy too. You know how many times I've gotten it in the basket doing that little trick? It's like freaking it's like fate, man. It's like Zen archery. How many times I've just sort of gotten it in the basket. Yeah. It's awfully cold. I hope I don't give myself frostbite. Brian Keller, Maya Morgenstern, Strong Bumrat Koonswood. What? Ricky Griner? Ricky Griner? Padon Sancho? Padon Sancho? I said that one earlier. Frankly speaking. Uh-huh. Tenggu Aku di Bandung, Adrian Newey, Adrian Newey, Adrian Newey, Bitcoin. It's a lazy thing to Google. Bitcoin. Don't you have some bookmarks? Like if you're a Bitcoin person, don't you have a hot list of Bitcoin sites to go to? Who the fuck Googles Bitcoin? And why the fuck would that be trending? That seems lazy. Or perhaps like somebody's trying to throw off the world, like by deliberately making that trend. So that way people then look up Bitcoin and see that Bitcoin is in the news. But nobody's gonna look up Bitcoin. That seems like Google is deliberately or somebody is. That's too lazy. I know how people are. People don't Google Bitcoin. They Google more specific things. And I've never owned one Bitcoin in my life. Seriously, who Googles Bitcoin? Paul Oscar. Ronnie? Ronnie! Ronnie! Let's listen to that song. Come on. How lazy are you? How lazy am I? As lazy as I can get away with? Hey man, maybe I don't need to be lazy. Maybe when it comes to things I like music, fucking, and getting high, I ain't too lazy. And video games. And making videos. And trying to save lives. What do I know about saving lives? I don't know. I tried to save one once 20 years ago. You heard that story. Didn't work out. No. Oh well, maybe next time. I saved this fucking iMac. It's not alive. It's just a computer. But hey, man, I save computers. I save people. I save myself. I save anything I can save that's worth saving. And I throw out what's not worth saving. That's for damn sure. You know what I mean? I'd kind of like to throw out a few philosophies that aren't working these days. You know, here's something I've always wondered. I'm trying to find batteries so I can work this thing, but I think this will work. Okay. Here's something I've always wondered. If TCP/IP has built-in inherent vulnerabilities, then why didn't they just like come out with a stack patch and permanently fix the fucking thing? So that way spoofing and poisoning weren't so trivial and easy for even a noob or a script kiddie. Like if you're trying to run a secure internet, how come you didn't fix it a long time ago? Why does it feel like a conspiracy? And I'm not even a conspiracy theorist. There's something not right in this world, and you're all falling for it because you're too busy to pay attention. And I don't know what's happening, but I can tell you what, I'll bet an artificial intelligence could put the pieces together pretty fucking quick. It's like a matter of tracing the common things, the commonalities that exist in the thing that you're trying to find the conspiracy in. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? You care what I'm saying? You don't care, do you? I don't care either. So whatever, dude. It's cool, man. Like I give a fuck. I don't give a fuck. You give a fuck? I don't give a shit, dude. I'll probably be dead soon. I'm almost middle aged. You know? It's cool, bro. Yeah, I'm rambling. So what? I'm just trying to get the batteries into this keyboard and fill up dead air. That's what they call it when you're broadcasting and there is no content whatsoever. Damn it. Ah, there we go. Green light. Woo! Yeah, man. Trying to avoid the green. No, I'm trying to get the green light. Yeah. Trying to avoid the dead air. Dead air is bad. So if you can't keep up with me, I'm sorry. I don't think I'm that fast. I'm technically I'm stupid. Technically I'm dyslexic. So if you're offended by my dyslexic smoker post, I'm dyslexic and I'm a smoker and I made it. So, and if you've ever been offended by my use of the N word, believe me, my singer is an N word. He's a self described one, so don't take it personal. He laughs when I use the N word. He taught me how to use it properly. You can believe that. So if you want to learn to use proper dyslexic, if you want to learn how to be dyslexic, I could probably teach you. But it's probably easier if you just have the brain defect or whatever causes me to be that way. Don't ask me. I'm not a neuroscientist. Not even close. Oh, although I probably know more about the human neural system than a lot of people, because I've been forced to learn. Ryan Gosling, trending. Cool. Now I can see what I'm doing again. Let's try to do better, shall we? Hate is a strong word. Hate is a strong feeling. So what? So what? So what? I spelled burden wrong. I misspelled burden. I'm not going to change it. It makes it easier to find on Google. You know what I mean? Like you know, if I finish it, if I finish that song, it'll be easier to find with burden misspelled. It really will. My neck still hurts, but my body feels better. Like in gym. Ah, God damn, I don't know what I'm gonna do, you guys. I've had a pretty difficult time already. The past 20 years. I don't know what I'm gonna do anymore. I'd rather not think about it. It upsets me. So I just needed to say that. I don't know. Let's do another whip. Yeah. Gotta find like an acupuncturist or like an acupressurist or both in like a yoga studio because these Western medicine has its head up its ass right now currently in the year 2024. And it isn't like as if Western medicine was ever really that good. So, Clippers versus Mavericks again. O'Rage, Mikey Day, um, Euphoria dot Kendrick Lamar dot lyrics. Is that a site? That sounds exciting. Mount Everest. Raw Root. CSK versus PBKX. Uh, Something in Sanskrit, I think. I don't know. I might even try that. Adrian New. Europa. Uh, Paris. It's cool. Paris is trending on Google. I've always wanted to go to Paris. I heard it's a pretty cool place. You know, like people there like coffee and baguettes and wine and cigarettes, and they appreciate art. They have this museum called the Louvre, and I heard it's got some pretty good stuff in there. If I get a chance, I'll cat burglar something from the Louvre. That would probably set me up for life. Talk about money. Dude, in my entire life, I've probably not even ever owned more than $100,000 worth of stuff. Like I worked for like 3 years or something, and I've had like an income. I doubt. I could be wrong, but if I have had over $100,000 worth of stuff, I have definitely not had 200,000. Definitely not. Of course,
with inflation and everything, who the fuck knows, right? And sometimes stuff is collectible, it goes up in value. So who knows then, right? Yeah. Esther. CSK versus PB something or other again. Yes, better do Scooby Doo, where are you? We got some work to do now. Scooby Doo, where are you? We got a lot to do now. You know, we're gonna have some fun. So where the hell are you, Scooby Doo? Scooby Doo, come on, Scooby. Let's hang out. Don't hold back. Zhang G6, Hamish Brayshaw, Chelsea versus Tottenham. I read that. Orange, Ukraine. Orange, Ukraine. Pushar Polsky. I think I read that. I can't remember. Melody Day Charco. Jolanta Brzezinska. Jolanta Brzezinska. That's a pretty name. Paris. That's a pretty name. Can you see what I see? Can you hear what I hear? I think so. Not really. I think this idea is fantastic. I think I got a lot of work to do. I thought I had a lot more on my schedule. I thought I had like a freaking whatchamacallit. Like I thought I had physical therapy today, but it's actually tomorrow. I'm pretty sure when I go to physical therapy, I'm not gonna do a goddamn thing. Because the last time I went to physical therapy and did anything, I wound up in the condition that you've seen me in, which isn't very good. I have a bad back, and I'm going there for my shoulder. So my shoulder is getting better every time I do exercises, but my back can't handle that shit. And I'm gonna go postal if my back gets too painful. I'm gonna be like a thermometer that goes pop, and I'm gonna punch you like when I punched my iMac and shattered it. And I'm gonna kill you because I know how to punch really hard, even with my bad shoulder. It's pretty scary, right? I don't like being scary. I don't. I don't want to be scary at all. I'm a nice guy. I worry about you, and I don't even know who you are. I don't even know who's watching, and I still worry about you all the time. I I'm trying to have a good time. I'm not going to cry, okay? I know you're doing fine. You're watching this, so fuck it. There's nothing to worry about. It's such a worry war. Boeing whistleblower dead. Shit. Don't need to worry about them anymore. Dortmund, McDonald's, uh, Mayday. Some Camden, Austrian, earthquake. Oh, they're okay. John Paul Pineda, PSG, Arton Senna, Patrick Dirgel, Godzilla, minus one. Is that a band name or something? Leonard Max, Amish Brayshaw, PSG, Kuchar Polsky. I wish there was music playing, but then you wouldn't hear me, right? I'm trying to announce the soccer scores. No, I'm just kidding. That's like what they didn't I hear that in a movie one time? Hey, be quiet! I'm trying to listen to the scores for the games. Something like that, right? Yeah, I like numbers. I like games. I wish life was numbers and games all day. Yeah. Life is more like pain and suffering. I wonder who came up with that. Gautama Buddha? Maybe the prince of Buddhism himself. Yeah, we should probably try to meditate because I think I might be like abusing these whippets, but luckily they are natural. Oh no! Yeah, waste not, want not, right? That's what I say. Waste not, want not. Yeah, that's cool. Ah, that feels good on my face. Ah, refreshing. Yeah. Ooh, it feels like an ice pack on my neck. Ooh, that's a fantastic idea, JJ. That'll warm it up and cool my aching neck. Adrian Mooney. Copa Argentina. Dortmund. Region. I think it's a fucking cigarette, actually. PSG. Yeah, use one strong addiction to distract yourself from another, right? That can be a lifestyle. I wouldn't exactly call myself a liquid addict, but I wish I could. That would be awesome. Mount Ran. That's the reason why I bought that stupid this that thing down there. Whatever, man. If you keep up with my life, you do, and if you don't, well, sucks to be you. Hey, man, I don't like to repeat myself, so basically re-explaining myself is like, the same thing as repeating myself. It makes me look forgetful, and I am not. I can remember just about every time I've ever told you a story. And I do tend to watch these streams because nothing else is worth watching. I tend to watch my own stuff over at least once to air and fact check, but also because your shit bores the hell out of me. It's mind numbing and patronizing. And I feel like repeating and re explaining myself to you is patronizing to you. I think you deserve more respect than that. So I refuse to patronize Azat the Avenger, the original streamer fan, and I refuse to patronize a JJ Styles, the rockinest man alive fan. Because you deserve better than that, and I deserve better than that. So let's have a fucking cigarette. I refuse to patronize you. That's insulting. You know what I mean? I hate that shit. I heard you the first time, motherfucker. You don't have to patronize me. I chose not to take you seriously. That's why you're repeating yourself. Or maybe you're trying to brainwash me. Maybe you think if you tell me something enough times, I'll believe it. Give me a fucking break. That'll never happen to me in a million years. Because I believe what I believe, and unless you can use the scientific method to convince me of whatever you're trying to brainwash me with,
It's never gonna work. I don't brainwash. I know what to look for. That's why I know what a conspiracy theory looks like as well. And nobody's typing Bitcoin into Google. I'm sorry, that doesn't make sense. If you're trading in Bitcoin, like I said, you got your little pockets. You're not just like, ooh, what's Bitcoin? I want to look that up. That's ridiculous. Everybody knows what Bitcoin is, especially on the internet. It's like if you type in Bitcoin Wikipedia, that might, perhaps Google Trends works a little differently than I think it does. I like to think that Google Trends is a literal rebroadcast of like what people are literally typing in, and therefore, if 1 billion people type in Bitcoin, it's going to say Bitcoin. But if they're doing some kind of like paraphrase, if they're paraphrasing what people are querying, like maybe they're looking up Bitcoin market, maybe they're looking up Bitcoin investments, like literally querying that into Google. Maybe they're querying Bitcoin inflation, Bitcoin halving. Like the other day, I saw that that was like 2 weeks ago, the Bitcoin halving, cutting a Bitcoin in half. That was like a trend, and that makes sense. If that's something new that you couldn't do before and now you can, or maybe if a lot of people are Bitcoin halving, then I understand that. I don't think anybody's looking at Bitcoin, just the 7-letter word. That's ridiculous. I don't know what the fuck that's supposed to represent. When I see that on Google Trends, that feels patronizing. I don't understand. That doesn't make sense. Bitcoin is not new, and people are not. They want to know more about more than just Bitcoin. I'm sorry, I don't buy it. You're gonna have to explain it to me if you want me to believe that, because I am not gullible. You know what I mean? Phoenix. Why are people thinking of Phoenix? Is there like? I don't know if I believe that either. I live in Tucson, and I don't even want to look at Phoenix. Okay, I just don't know. Oh, who cares? I'll be dead soon. My health and my health care the way it is, I'm sure I will be dead soon. The only reason I lived for the past 20 years was mostly because of fentanyl, and that's practically outlawed. It's not really outlawed, but it is practically. There's a lot of things that are practically outlawed right now. I told you guys I needed a trigger point injection in my neck, and there's not one. My mother was being very annoying. Linda was trying to inform me that she was going to get me a trigger point injection, and I was like, I got things to do, Mom. Please don't waste my time, and don't get my hopes up. I do not believe you're going to find a place willing to give me a trigger point injection. And so please don't tell me about it. Just know right now I'm consenting. All right? So don't bring it up again unless this is a real thing. And so I managed to get myself away from her because she was like dead set on getting me on board with her plan. I couldn't get on board with a plan I don't believe in. And she did not succeed in finding me a care provider because it's like as if it's been outlawed. And she even spoke to a hospital and she tried to fake them out. She said, "Oh, well, so and so is doing trigger point injections, but they're up on River Road far away. I was hoping you would be doing them because you're closer." And the person on the phone, the operator, said, "Oh, they shouldn't be doing trigger point injections." Like as if it's some kind of unilateral decision that healthcare providers don't do them anymore. And that finally woke her up, and she was not as gullible anymore. Like she was living under the false pretenses that she could give me health care and she could get me a treatment that doesn't seem to exist anymore. And I've had the treatment before, but it seems like as if
I don't know if the medication is too expensive for hospitals to purchase. I told you my conspiracy theory on the whole thing, right? Or was I telling her my conspiracy theory? This is my conspiracy theory. I came up with this, and it might be crazy, but I don't care. I'm just telling you, I have a rational mind, very rational, and I came up to the conclusion that the United States government has decided that in order to cut costs, save money, maybe reduce the deficit, I don't know, improve the economy, for whatever reason, I think the United States government isn't going to work with big pharma anymore. I think they consider it to be expensive, and it's like a marked up price already because it's kind of a monopoly. The whole pharmaceutical industry may consist of like Pfizer and Merck and a bunch of other companies, but they all basically are colluding to keep the prices high. And if you've ever been sick, you know what I'm talking about. But and until the patents expire on these newer medications, and once the like Viagra, you guys are all about the Viagra and the Blue Chew and the Friday plans. I've seen the TV commercials, and I'm not judging you. If you need help, I hope you get help, and I hope you and your partner have a lot of fun. But for a long time it wasn't generic. I know that it was trademarked and it was expensive, and it was gargantuanly expensive. I think on the commercials they say the Viagra was like $400, $430 for like 10 pills. And nowadays you can get like 10 generic Viagras for like $1 or something like that. I don't know. Hmm. Sorry, microphone. But anyway, are we still broadcasting? Yeah, we're cool. Okay, I just wanted to see we're still in KBS. This part down in the corner. No, other corner. Yeah. All right. So, like, we all know that the pharmaceutical industry is a racket, and that's what you call having a stranglehold on the economy, a stranglehold on the marketplace. Hey, how's about a stranglehold on the human race? Because humans are the people that take pharmaceuticals after all. So you probably think the corruption ends after the patent and the drug becomes affordable, the medication becomes affordable. Not really, because then it gets outlawed. And then the hospitals come up with policies like they're not going to carry it anymore. And shit like that. And it happens all the time. And if you're suffering, it's not too cool, is it? That's when you tend to turn to street drugs or whatever. Like, that's what was happening with the opioids and the senior citizens, the people in the golden years of their lives, the retirees. They tend to get hurt after a long, hard life. It's an easy thing to get hurt. And so what? Well, when you get to be, a senior in your golden years, you gotta have some help because the pain is tough to manage, and it's become impossible to get because there's an epidemic. It's called the opioid epidemic, and yes, senior citizens are affected by it just as much as the ODing children of theirs. Yeah, so what? I'm just telling you, man, in case you didn't know. You can read about it, I think, in AARP magazine, the Retired Association of Retired People. No big deal. Everybody knows, don't they? That, like, there's suffering that's preventable. There's preventable suffering happening right now. People are made to suffer in the year 2024, the 21st century, in the first world. So there's people suffering in the third world. We always knew that. But in the first world, there's plenty of people suffering for no good reason. You know? It's no big deal, dude. I know all about it. It's not shocking. That's no shocking revelation to me. I'm like a walking, talking example of it. I'm a walking, talking dystopia byproduct. It's no big deal. Haven't you ever seen one before? I don't know. Alright, that's a fun topic. Not. The idea of you. I don't need an idea of me. I'm right here. Clippers, Mavericks. Read that already. Kaya Paul Auster. Austrian. My neck still hurts. You know, it's funny. When I was at physical therapy on Tuesday, right? I think that's what it was. It was a Tuesday, right? I described this thing that I have. See, this is my neck, and I have kind of a Montgomery Burns hump. That's what I kind of call it. Like it's kind of like a scholar's, hump or whatever. It's like when you spend too much time leaning forward or whatever to read or to look at a computer screen. I don't know if you wear glasses or not. I got laser surgery, so I don't, and I have no regrets, not yet. Anyways, so what? I'm just saying, I call this thing a hump, and this hump probably took the Humpty Hump. Come on, do the Humpty Hump. It probably took the worst abuse in the rollover accident that killed my band and that I survived. The 3.5 time one. You know, the truck was upside down with me anyways. I don't know about that. I'm talking about my hump. So I've described it at physical therapy as a hump. And one of my physical therapists was asking, I was taking a break because I was having the pain during the exercises, and they inquired if my hump was hurting, and I was like, "Oh, it's not just the hump. I have humps all over. I have so many humps you could practically call them lovely lady lumps." Remember that song? Wasn't that Black Eyed Peas? My lumps, my lovely lady lumps. Wasn't it? Wasn't that a Fergie song? I can't remember. I think so, though. That sounds fun. The Black Eyed Peas were kind of fun, weren't they? Almost like a novelty band, but yet not a novelty band. They're totally legit and just trying to have fun. But sometimes they're willing to crack a joke or be funny like that. Yeah. Whatever happened to those guys? Whatever happened to the guy that did it? And I feel it. I'm too close to love you. What was his name? I just said it on like a few streams ago. Is it Sinclair or Alex Clare? That's right. You ever seen Sinclair gas stations? They have a Brontosaurus for a mascot. That's pretty cool. Could you imagine a Jurassic Park sized Brontosaurus in a TV commercial? Like, isn't that a great scene in Jurassic Park when they're traveling around in the first one? Spoiler alert! You know, it's not that big a spoiler. Guess what? Jurassic Park has dinosaurs? Yeah, that's not a spoiler. So when they see a brontosaurus up close, that's just how gigantic it was. You really do get that feeling, don't you? Isn't it conveyed? Didn't Spielberg and company manage to really convey the massive size of a creature like that? You know, back in the dinosaur days, before they went extinct, you understand why they were so huge, right? There was a lot of extra oxygen on planet Earth back then because it was practically all forest, right? And there was a high concentration of oxygen. And that allowed all of the creatures to get very, all the living biological organisms, everything got huge because they had resources. The resource was oxygen, and it resulted in gigantic creatures. That's the scientific theory, and I believe it. I think that makes a lot of sense. I do not believe in Darwinism. I have just decided recently that perhaps perhaps Darwinism, Aston Villa, perhaps Darwinism is true. All right? Perhaps if you're a lower life form and your brain is smaller than a human's, perhaps survival of the fittest is true. But I believe that humans have large brains and they can choose survivalism. They can choose who gets to survive. And it doesn't have to be unfair. I think everybody can survive and it can be fair. But right now, as it is not fair. And right now, as it is, not everybody's going to survive. And I don't think the war on drugs, I don't think that's going to save any lives. I think that making a survival-based, philosophy where we figure out how everybody gets to survive and people don't necessarily have to go without basic amenities and care. I think a person is worth more than you realize, and that when you choose to throw away a human life, it is not only regrettable and somewhat despicable, but that it's a waste of resources. Because people, if you invest in a person, you can get a return on investment over and over and over and over again. Because people are like robots, man. They'll work their asses off for no good reason. I know most of the people I know do that. I don't do that. I choose to work my ass off doing things that don't make me money or don't benefit anybody else whatsoever. When I make a song, most people don't listen to it. But I do. Benefits me, and I've made a lot of songs. I've like recorded them and stuff. So it's like you work when you get paid to. I work when I think the work needs to be done. And I think that we could make a society like that, where everybody gets to be treated like a human and they don't get their lives flushed down the toilet, you know? I don't know if you know why people become drug addicts, but it's usually desperation. What are they desperate for? They're desperate to feel good. They're desperate to not feel their problems. They're desperate to take their mind off their problems, and that's what the drugs do. They take your mind off of your unsolvable life problems. So, as ridiculous as it seems to become a drug addict, it's actually a very easy thing to do if you so much as try them once. Man. We talked on the Two Position Uno and the JJ Styles Rocks on YouTube and Twitch. And I really do care about you, and I really care more about myself. But I know that I'm just like you. So the more I care about myself and the more I fight for my rights, the more you're going to do better because you're going to have a chance. And I got more problems than anybody because I'm a born loser. So my battles are noble and they are real and they suck because I am not going to fix them. I'm only one person, and it takes the majority when you live in a democracy. The majority of the people have to feel the same way as I do in order to solve these global problems. Global size, dinosaur sized problems, you bet your fucking ass, kid. No doubt. And I'm not polarized. I'm an independent. And I think liberals and conservatives are stupid. Because, you can't solve the world with one philosophy. It takes a well-balanced mind, a well-balanced philosophy, well-balanced ethics and morals, well-balanced understanding of survival and reality in this biological and material world we live in. What do I mean by material? I mean planet Earth. It's made out of rock. That's a material. You gotta have a well-balanced viewpoint, or you're just gonna make an ass out of yourself.
I have very little respect for anybody these days. I'm just being honest. It's not disrespect. It's just a lack of respect. One another bit. My neck still hurts. Might have to take a goddamn opioid. I think it's too soon. I don't have enough opioids. I get them kind of illegally. So it's like I really can't afford to screw around. I have to have them, or else I'm going to do the thermometer go pop thing that I've been talking about. It's not a good thing. I don't want to hurt anybody. That's the last thing I want to do. I didn't even want to hurt my iMac. I'm so glad that I fixed this computer. That's a good computer. I've been trying to never mind what I'm doing. I'm just talking, okay? So nothing illegal over here, right? You believe me? Don't I sound like I'm truthful when I talk like this? Don't I sound like I have nothing to hide whatsoever? Anyways, I believe that that the brain dance technology that they portray in the Cyberpunk 2077 video games, also known as wire tripping or sim sense or playback. That's what they called it in Strange Days. I was trying to remember that the other day on a stream, right? I was, and I remembered it's playback. And so, what about that technology? It's science fiction. It's not real. Supposedly, Elon Musk has a business plan to make it a reality. Excuse me. I'm like Rick from Rick and Morty, right? Oops. I think I might need some antacid or something. But I think that before people are capable of having the empathy and the sympathy required to have the kind of utopian society that I was describing a second ago, where everything is equal and nobody gets neglected, I think it's going to take some kind of a playback, wire trip, SimSense, brain dance technology, because there's never going to be enough sympathy or empathy until you can experience the five senses that that person has, and perhaps even what they have in their mind, like the imagination. Because right now, as I demonstrated on a previous stream, if I think of Beavis and Butthead, there's Beavis on the left and Butthead on the right. Or I guess for you, it would be Beavis on the left and Butthead on the right. Yeah, right? Because I'm self-aware, and I also am aware that you are self-aware. So that's why I'm like, yeah, that relates back to the loser. Born loser? Born loser. Anyways, yeah, man, you're never gonna have the empathy that it takes. You're gonna look at homeless people and you're gonna be bothered every time they ask for money or spare change, or you think you're savvy enough to like know when a person is exploiting you. You think that you're gullible if you give a desperate dying person money to survive and live. You think you're qualified? You think you're qualified to not be gullible? You know, not being gullible is a skill, and it requires a certain mind frame. I told you guys I've got a streak where every time I see a homeless person, or at least a person with a cardboard sign asking for help, I've at least given $1 to the last fucking 50 people I've seen. Did you see what I did with that stupid whippet cracker? I'd really like to figure out how to use this whippet bong, but I'm just trying to stay alive here. I've had a rough week. But I've tried to, and I also try to give tips whenever I buy something. Like this fucking liquid bong was way more expensive than I thought it would be, and I really can't afford it. But I think I'll save money in the long run because if I'm going to control my pain, I need something where I can just take a little itty bitty hit as opposed to having to do a whole cartridge, which is probably more like 5 or 6 hits. It's like, I'm trying to kill my pain, not get high. And so what? Well, I gave the guy, like, with the $69.99 price tag, it came out to like 72.75, I think it was. So I was like, give yourself a 225 tip, and it'll be 75 even, and that'll be easy to review on my balance, on my sheet, on the balance sheet. And also you'll get a decent tip, my man. I don't think it's like 15%. It's supposed to be 15%, right? Like 10% of $70 would be $7. Wait, is that right? $7 is 10%. Yeah. Oh, so 350. It's 5%. Ooh. Yeah. Yeah. So I guess my little 225 is less than 5%. That's a terrible tip, but it's better than nothing. It's greasing the wheels of commerce, right? That employee was happy to get anything at all because there's plenty of customers that don't get any tip whatsoever, right? So you're concerned about saving face and doing at least 15%. Meanwhile, I'm thinking, hey, even if it's less than 5%, if everybody did that, that sure would help that employee. In Greece, they'd probably be a happier, more helpful employee, wouldn't they? And I don't think that's a big sacrifice for me. But my mother, she thinks like an old school person. And old school people never tip. They're real penny pinchers. They're real cheapskates. Because, hey, man, if you're not Donald Trump, can you really afford to spare a penny? That's the way they think. Meanwhile, I don't work hard for my money. It's basically free money to me, even though I've paid the biggest price a human being should ever have to pay. My health is trash, but ultimately, I can afford to throw away my money. And I don't think that investing in another human being, even if they're a stranger, I don't believe that's throwing away my money. That's like making it for a nicer society. And I hate money. Maybe that's why I'm so eager to tip, even though I need to survive. Yeah, I hate money. Take it. Please take it. This shit is a burden. It's a fucking burden right now at this point in time in human history. It basically makes people resent you. And it basically is never enough. And it basically devalues by the second. Yeah? And it basically is just no fun. You think it's fun to have money until it's all gone. Oh, now what do I do? Not too fun. Huh? Where'd the fucking cracker go? My neck hurts. Did you see what I did with it? Ugh. God damn it. I'm so careless. Aren't I careless? I'm such a careless person. How did I lose it? Ah! Oh, no. I'll find it. I need some relief. I need relief. I need, I need some relief. Get some relief. It's no fun. I have no relief. I need somebody to tag in, man. This is like a tag team match, and I don't have a tag team partner. I'm just getting the shit kicked out of me by two professionals. That's what this is. It's like everybody's a professional, and they're kicking the shit out of me and ganging up on me. That's the truth. Everybody is a professional, and it is every person for themselves in this world. I have experience. I know. I'm telling you the truth. And if that's not true for you, well then you've got privilege I don't have because I got nobody else but me. I have to help my mom. She doesn't support me. I support her. It's been like that for a while. Yeah, I'm not a born loser because I live with my mom. I'm actually a born winner because she lives with me. But needless to say, I'm a loser, baby. So why don't you kill me? Hey man, don't make me sing that. Then I'll owe back money, right? Dude, I'd be glad to pay back money if I could, like, get get my stream income figured out. If I had a manager, if I had an agent, if I had like a team that was helping me do this whole stream thing properly, like with a good computer and like some kind of a format, like fuck man. Like, and yes, an income kind of thing, I'd be more than happy to pay any musician royalties, even ones that I don't respect. Like, let me think. I don't respect. I practically respect all musicians, but I do not respect Milli Vanilli. All right, I don't. And though what they did wasn't really that wrong, the way that shit went down was basically a catastrophe with the lip syncing that they got busted doing. And it went so badly, you can't respect them. Milli Vanilli fucked up royally by representing and portraying. My neck is feeling a little numb. Let's get tingly, please. I want to be done and tingly. With needles, no pain at all. I don't want that little ache that I got in my Montgomery Burns pump. But in case you don't know this, I'll tell you. Milli Vanilli got busted for lip syncing at a live performance. I think it might have been on live television, like Saturday Night Live or something like that. And of course, if you get hired to perform at wherever, the Super Bowl, a wedding, what have you, yeah, what? People expect you to not be playing or singing over a recorded thing, okay? So, like, for example, Mariah Carey, she also got busted lip syncing around Christmas time. Or wait, no. I don't think she was lip syncing. I think that she hit an off note or something like that. Because she has like a 7 octave range, right? Seven? But she, like, I think she, like, has lost. I think now it's more like six, more like a 6 octave range, which 7 octaves is the most you can have. Like, yeah, a human being doesn't have more. You can't have an 8 octave range. That's basically unheard of, I believe. So she got busted hitting an off note, doing a Christmas carol or something. Either that, or maybe she was lip syncing, and maybe somebody, I forget, this happened a while ago, but I think somebody might have made reference to her only having a 6 or 5 octave range, and that's why she lip syncs now. I forget. You can Google it easier than I can remember it. Also, at the Super Bowl, I think it was the Super Bowl, the Red Hot Chili Peppers, one of my favoriteest bands of all time ever, and Flea, one of my favoriteest bass players of all time ever, was rocking out so hard his bass guitar got unplugged, right? And he fucking was caught busted because the bass, you could still hear it.
So that means that the whole band was probably lip syncing, because like it's the Super Bowl and they probably don't want to have any technical malfunctions like having your bass get unplugged. That would kind of throw off the party vibe of the Super Bowl, right? So therefore, everybody's guilty of lip syncing at live performances with regards to like the ones that are on television and crap like that, which I think is fair game. If you get busted lip syncing on television, well, hey man, it's television, and it's best if your production looks better than the Born Losers. Because my computer's freezing, like, god damn it. My equipment is breaking down all the time. I might just walk up and punch the screen, and next thing you know, I'm off air. That's not too professional. Luckily, I don't have an entire nation watching me, millions and millions of people. Technical malfunctions makes the people lose faith in the thing that they believe in. And that's because they don't know how difficult it is. They think it's easy because you make it look easy, right? So if you actually make it look difficult, or if you screw up, they lose faith because they're like, oh, they're fake. Everything's fake. Pro wrestling is fake. Fuck the world. This is a rigged election, and you can't afford to have the mass population believing things like that because Western civilization itself will crumble and come to a screeching halt if the people lose faith in the very system that keeps them alive, right? So, whatever, man. I still have no respect for Milli Vanilli, even though they were I think the first, like, pop culture people to really bring this to attention, the whole lip syncing to records and performing on TV thing. And so, fuck them. They're phonies. They still know how to dance. They're pretty old now, too. I don't know if they're still alive. I mean, but they could dance then. Yeah. It's like, are you okay with the world being fake? What if it looks good? And what if it basically isn't fake because they at least did it once? Like, isn't that asking a lot to have a performer go on tour and do their thing over and over and over again, like every night under grueling conditions? Like, shouldn't they be allowed to lip sync every once in a while? I think you agree with me because there's like Rocky Maivia, The Rock. He's been a lip sync hero for a long time now. All right, so I think you agree with me. But still, history is history, and I know what I know, and I believe what I believe. So, how did we get on that topic anyway? Uh, Whatever, man. Yeah, I'm not gullible. You're gullible. I hope not, though, because it can, it's like, look, there's a thing called freedom of religion in the United States of America, right? It's part of our amendment or whatever. It's a right. It's an American right, the freedom of religion. And I think that the reason why the forefathers that founded this place that made that a rule and made it a right to have the freedom of religion is because they came from a place known as Europe. And over in Europe, there's been a lot of war and a lot of violence and bloodshed over religion because people aren't tolerant over there. They will basically blow you up with bombs, cut you to bits with sharp blades and implements. They will put bullets through your eyes, right there, through your head. They will kill you because of your religion. They are not tolerant over there. Right now, there's a war, like a spiritual religious war between people that are Hebrew
people that are Muslim and people that are Christian. And over in the Fertile Crescent, like over in like the over in like Palestine, I guess, basically over in Jerusalem, that area. Phew. Right? Paul Austin. Over in that area, there's a bunch of violence and a bunch of people get hurt, and it's very sad. And people should really be a lot more tolerant. But the problem is they can't afford to be tolerant because tolerant people get walked all over. Man. It's like the more kind and understanding you are, the more likely you are to get treated like a doormat. I carry a gun because I'm a very kind and understanding person, and I'm not going to let you walk all over me like a doormat. In fact, I'm not going to let you walk all over anybody like a doormat. And if you even try to, I'll shoot your fucking ass. I'll put it right. I'll let you practice whatever religion you want. I'll let you say whatever you want. But you are not going to disrespect me or anybody else by treating them like a doormat, or I will fucking kill you. And that's a difficult thing to promise because I've never killed anybody, but I've had practice in the form of video games, in the form of target practice at the shooting range. I've had practice in the form of just getting drunk and goofing off in the desert, shooting at cactus and shit like tin cans and shit. And I'll plug you, motherfucker. I'm ready to right now. I'll fucking plug you. If you treat me like a doormat, I will plug you. And I might be too slow. I'm not Billy the Kid. Alright, this isn't the Old West. And we don't have gunfights on a daily basis. But I believe in freedom of religion. I believe in freedom of speech. I believe in freedom. And I believe in respect, motherfucker. So, but here's the deal with religion, okay? It's fairy tales. It's not real. There's no such thing as God. There's no such. Maybe Jesus was a real person, and maybe he was a really nice and enlightened guy. Maybe he was just like me. I used to have long hair, you know? And maybe that guy got crucified, and maybe that was a sad thing to see because he was such a nice guy. I heard he taught people how to wash their stinky feet. Like until Jesus said, hey, if you use some water, your feet don't have to stink to high heaven and back. And I don't even think heaven existed back then. They were like, high what now? He's like, yeah, your feet stink to high heaven. Here, let me wash them for you. Oh my God, my feet smell good. Thank you, Jesus. No problem. My pleasure. And then to see that guy get crucified, that's gonna make you cry. You're like, my feet smell great. I owe that man. And so what? 2,000 years later, people are still praising him. And that's fine. But he was not the Son of God. We all are. And I don't believe in God. But you know what? I do believe in life and creation, man. I don't believe there's one great creator because that's creepy. That's like Ridley Scott's Prometheus. And I won't spoil it for you. But Prometheus is creepy, and that's exactly a science fiction creationism scenario. Anyhow, and you know who gives a fuck? You know, I think that there's like adopted people that really love their adopted parents like they should, and then I think there's some adopted kids that are spoiled brats. You know, that take their adopted parents for granted because they didn't necessarily appreciate their situation and they felt like maybe they weren't spoiled brats and they wanted to be spoiled brats. But if they were to like have lived with their birth parents, they would have had perhaps hypothetically
a litter of siblings to contend against, for resources, because that's what it's like having siblings. Everything is a resource, and you're basically either sharing them, like good, well raised, well mannered, and respectful kids, or you're like fighting over them like it's some kind of a Darwin exercise, right? And so if you're only 5 foot tall and you don't like your adopted parents because your life wasn't a bed of roses, oh, but if you would have been with your birth parents, you would have had a bunch of people that are 6 feet tall for whatever reason to contend with for resources, and you would have gotten stepped on like a cockroach because that's the way it is, man. You're the little runt of the litter, and you're not going to have any fun. Well, maybe you shouldn't bitch so much because your adopted parents kept you alive, didn't they? And though they weren't perfect, they sure as fuck didn't kill you or abuse you. They may have let you get abused because they were careless, but it wasn't because they didn't love you. That kind of a thing. Anyhow, nobody's gonna walk all over you as long as I have something to say about it. Because once they start to walk all over you, they're definitely gonna walk all over me. I'm the born loser. Like, give me a break. If I didn't carry a gun, I wouldn't have any protection at all. You know? Like, it's kind of like not fair. Nobody's sticking up for me these days. Sometimes people would stick up for me like 20 or 30 years ago because I was still a kid back then. Now I've been an adult for a while, and for a long time I've had to fend for myself, and it's no big deal. It's not that hard to survive as long as you have your basic resources. But god damn it, my basic resources are fentanyl patches because I'm injured and modern technology isn't that good. And they can't fix me. So I need help and I'm not going to get it. And now they've gone and like what, outlawed trigger point injections? Like I said, my mom was trying to find one and she thought she could, and she found out the truth, which I knew already because I'm not gullible and I can sense patterns. When I see a pattern happening right in front of me, I'm more likely to see it before you do because I'm a pattern based person. I'm a creature of habit. I play video games and I look for things in the video game that don't fit, things that are off. And when everything's a pattern, if the pattern breaks, ding, 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 that's off. And I'm going to notice if I'm paying attention, if I'm healthy enough to pay attention. You know what I mean? Maybe you should look at the patterns or have program a computer. Maybe you should have the artificial intelligences looking at patterns rather than telling you how to make a good baked salmon or whatever the fuck you ask GPT and Bing these days. Maybe you should say, hey, GPT, Bing, why don't you look at the news media and look at the patterns? And why don't you tell us when the patterns don't add up? Maybe then we could get some answers about what our leadership is actually up to. Because they're so fucked up, no one's ever going to know. And Neuralink is never going to happen. That's right. I was trying to explain that Elon Musk has like the patent or whatever for the whole brain dance SimSense playback thing, which is the only way humans are ever going to have enough empathy and sympathy to give a shit about each other because they're so selfish by nature. And even if you're some kind of a bleeding heart liberal, I still bet you're not Gandhi. Mahatma Gandhi. That guy is about the only guy that I would trust with regards to not being selfish and actually giving more than I need. It's like Gandhi would be like, here, JJ, have some food, have some money. Do you need me to wash your feet? And I'd have to be like, Gandhi, you can stop, really. I'm okay. All right, you take care of yourself for a minute. I'll be all right. You nursed me back to health. Now, please, take it easy, man. You're skin and bones, dude. Like, take a load off. Yeah. You need me to wash your feet, homie?
It's like you're gonna die if you keep this up. You know, fucked up, right? Watching someone die right in front of you is kind of fucked up, isn't it? Kind of really fucked up. Like when you know there was something that could have been done, but nobody was intelligent enough to figure out what to do. Or maybe it's not a matter of intelligence. Maybe no one was selfless enough to save that person's life. Maybe they're like, a gift to the world. Maybe like a Jesus Christ. Maybe like a Muhammad. Or no, Allah. Whatever. I don't know. Maybe like a Yahweh. Maybe like a Moses. Maybe like a Buddha. And just to let them die is just a so-called sin. It's basically a crime. It's basically despicable, deplorable, and it's not evolved. And how do you expect to become a Star Trek kind of people out there working for the Federation, meeting new races of humanoid life forms if you're too selfish to even help each other or whatever? Maybe you're just too ignorant. Maybe you're too caught up in the rat race to realize what's happening right in front of you. Maybe you're too horny. Maybe you're too poor. Maybe you're too rich. Maybe you're too satisfied. I could care less. I can see the wrong thing with my own two eyes. And I don't like it much. It makes me sick to my stomach sometimes. Other times it gives me goosebumps. Other times it makes me cry out of my eyeballs. Oh well. What's up, dude? Music, sweet music. I wish I could hear us. Pins and needles and pins. I had to run away, yeah, and get down on my hands and knees and pray. Go away and steal it again. So the needles and pins. Ooh, ooh, needles and pins. Yeah, yeah. On the neck, please. Oh, fix my broken neck, please. Oh, that feels good. It's so cold it can give you frostbite. It's as cold as ice. You're willing to sacrifice my love for you. Have you ever seen that Aqua Teen Hunger Force episode? We should watch it. Do you think I could get away with it, or will I get a copyright bad fine? Here, let me tell you the premise, okay? So, there's like this belt that will give you superpowers. Spoiler alert, right? I think it came from the Enigmats or whatever. Those little pixely looking 8-bit alien extraterrestrial guys. And this belt gives you the power of whatever Foreigner song you're like. That's what it does. It's like Foreigner has songs like Cold as Ice. Foreigners, this band, they're an American rock and roll band that was popular back in like the new wave era of like the 1980s and such. I used to think they were like some kind of a classic rock 70s band, but they are much more modern than that. I didn't know because I wasn't a Foreigner fan. I thought that was just some old-timey stupid shit, right? Little did I know, Foreigner is fantastic. Like, they are really good at music. And I think my favorite Foreigner song of all is Urgent.
Urgent, urgent, urgent. Ooh yeah. It's a song about needing to fuck urgently, and you have this partner that you booty call, or perhaps more than booty call, and they feel the same way for you. They feel like they can booty call you anytime, right? And it's urgent, all right. But it's a really good song. And this Aqua Teen Hunger Force episode is just like busting out foreigner song, foreigner song references, reference after reference, and it's pretty funny because it's superpowers like they come from the belt. It's a good episode, dude. Check it out, man. It's funny and it has good foreigner references. Guys, I'd like to stream forever. You know, I am a producer. I am the original streamer. I am the rockinest man alive. I am JJ Styles. Today is my father's birthday anniversary. I am getting a knock on the door. I'm going to hit the mute button. Yeah. I want to explain something.
Yeah. Hmm. Hmm. Testing, testing, one, two, three. Yeah, guys, I think I need to wrap it up because I promised you reviews and repairs in the tile, and I don't know if I have anything to review. Uh, I know I could review just about anything. Of course, it's usually appropriate to review new things. Just about everything I own is used, aside from this bad boy. Should I try to put this together? I should, huh? I should try to use my brain and teach you how to read a manual. I think you know how to read a manual, but maybe we can figure this out together. All right, then. I'll try. This is the last thing on my agenda. Let's see if we can do this. It has safety instructions. It's good to be safe on the Trip Zip Uno and the JJ Styles Rocks on the YouTube and the Twitch. Yeah, safety first. I don't know if safety's first, but let's just say if you don't have safety, you probably shouldn't do it in the first place, right? That's pretty dope, huh? All right. First time use. Rinse bottle, blah blah. Only use this device for purpose. Yeah, yeah. Store product. Yeah, yeah. Children. Follow the safety and charging correct. Yeah. Keep away from temperatures like caused by the direct sunlight. If they exceed 122 degrees Fahrenheit or 50 Celsius, they're gonna explode. Never use parts from another manufacturer unless they fit. Yeah, right. When attaching the dispenser head, make sure the threads are aligned and the head is not crooked. That's good advice because that's the way you can ruin the threading. Like if you use a nut or a bolt that is metric on a standard, yeah, that's the way you fuck up the threading and ruin it. Only disassemble. Only disassemble the dispenser in accordance with proper cleaning instructions, and do when using the N2O nitrous cartridge, the dispenser is pressurized. Dropping or damaging the unit can make it unsafe because the metal is under pressure and it could flare out, kind of like a spacecraft that has a piece of debris puncture the hull. It's not good. Very dangerous. Problems with the dispenser. Let's troubleshoot. The head will not unscrew from the dispenser. If that occurs, there might still be gas inside. Yeah, right. The whipped cream valve is clogged with sugar and or ingredients and the contents will not come out. Well, then you need to clean it. Trouble with the whipped cream consistency, you need to clean it and make sure everything is securely put together. Whipped cream is not cold enough, well, you need to keep the contents in the refrigerator for at least 1.5 hours, otherwise known as 90 minutes. Operating instructions, charger holder. So this is of course the charger holder. You do that, and then what? This is an 8 gram nitrous cartridge. Those are the tips. We saw those earlier. Dispenser valve, yeah. Head gasket, yeah. Cleaning brush, yeah. Yeah. And clean. I'll worry about cleaning it later. If I get some kind of residue from the factory, like maybe the paint left some kind of a residue, I'm toxic anyways. It'll probably get me fired. If I get some lead in my system, some lead paint poisoning or something, it's probably just going to get me high because I'm already toxic. So, using the best whip dispenser, blah, blah.
Before filling TVs, make sure the head gasket, blah, blah, blah. In order to properly charge a dispenser for use, it is important to screw the head and the bottle together properly. Make sure the head goes in straight. Didn't I read that already? That has to do with the threading. If it's not on straight, yeah, the threading. I got to admit, I just feel patronized all the time. I know how to pay attention. I've been known to take medication that helps me pay attention. So when things are reiterated to me over and over and over, it wastes my time, my precious time, and it's patronizing. So it's like a double disservice when you tell me the same thing twice and you use different words thinking that like I won't notice. Yeah, it's patronizing. This whole society is patronizing. And I will admit that safety is very important and it's important that you get the message. But god damn it, I'm about the safest person I know. And I'm tired of it. I need something better in life than just security. You know? Sometimes life isn't worth it. And what's the point in being safe and saving your own life if you're just going to be forced to live a terrible life afterwards? It's not too cool. Life doesn't seem so precious when you're having a bad time. At all. It doesn't seem precious or even important when you're having a bad time. This instruction manual promises that this thing's ready to go right now, I guess. I'm going to try it. If it works, it works. If it don't, then I'm going to waste a charger. I don't like that idea. Oh well, man. Wish me luck. Yeah, right. I hope it's good to go. That'd be great. You know, maybe it is. Let me double check and make sure everything is tight. Right and tight. I don't know, man. If I got this part backwards. This part right here. This is the valve. It's like your bicycle valve or your car tire valve. I didn't used to be a mechanical person. I used to be more of a software person, like a theory person. I think that like theoretical physics is kind of like virtual in your mind. I don't know anything about physics, but like I do know something about having imagination because I write songs and I know about having things in my mind and needing to get them out. And therefore, software is a lot like that because, you know, until you get the program written, it's all just either an idea in your mind, right? Or even less than that. Maybe you don't even have the idea sussed out yet. Yeah. So it's a good idea to not make assumptions. The popular saying is assumptions make asses out of you and me. I think assumptions are just rude. I think that you should never assume things. It is very rude. You should just ask. Because you'll probably get an honest answer. I don't want to lose the cap. Bottoms up. Ah! It's all escaping! Oh no! I figured it out! It's because it's a. Hold on a second. I got to maximize my hit. My utils. That's what they call it in microeconomics, man. Now on my shoulder. Living La Vida Loca, baby. That's what they call that in microeconomics, getting your utils work. So here's the thing, this valve, it's like you press it when you want it to release. Obviously, it's a trigger. So the trigger, it needs to be higher up than it currently is. I have it way too low, I guess. It's supposed to be up there. Is that really going to lock it? It was all coming out the valve. It basically works, but we don't want the gas to keep escaping from that thing. It's a waste of money. Waste of utils? Wasted utils? No shit, Sherlock. No fucking shit. Of course, maybe this isn't like a trigger. I wish I could read in the instruction manual and get a yes or no answer with regards to that. Because it's like, maybe it's, no, it's spring based. It has to work like a trigger. Okay? It has to. Because people like triggers. You squeeze it and it works, and then the spring pushes it back out, and then it doesn't work. It's like a gun, it's like a garden hose, it's like a video game that has a light gun. It's like an icing dispenser for a cake. There's a lot of trigger based mechanisms in this world, and they aren't all deadly. You know, guns may be deadly, but they're not evil. People are evil. People that are willing to pull the trigger on anybody, you can't. And you know what? That's why people get post traumatic stress disorder, because they get ordered to pull the trigger. Like in Vietnam, they get ordered to pull the trigger on people, and they can't deal with that because it's they know they shouldn't have done it, but they were ordered to, and that conflicts their internal processing. That's a logic error. You know, they say that artificial intelligences or whatever aren't capable of handling logic errors. That's the way to cause an artificial intelligence, theoretically speaking, to crash. I say theoretically speaking because a lot of this computer science crap has in practice been theoretical, because we've had to wait until CPUs were powerful enough to actually do what needed to be done. And of course, that's waiting for Moore's Law to become like, you can basically estimate, oh, JJ's going to have to wait most of his life before computers are any fun. Yeah, right. Well, anyways, a logic error is supposed to clog up an AI and make it unable to function. It's going to crash, crashing, error, cannot compute. And likewise, um, I think I'm having a logic error. Insufficient data. What were we talking about? I cannot remember. I'm too busy thinking about whippets and getting high. All right. Oh well. It's all good. The trigger mechanism. Oh yes. And you know, guns aren't evil. People aren't evil. Nothing's really evil. I think most things are just tragic. Terribly tragic. And if you don't express that you feel that way, no one's gonna know that you're not a sociopath. Sympathy, empathy, it's real sociopathic to not have those things. Yeah, right. Yeah, it is a trigger-based mechanism. Oh, shit. Come on, man. What do I have wrong? I think maybe the head gasket isn't in place. Well, could that be the problem? Got the head gasket right here. Some people might call this a gasket. Other people might call it a grommet. Other people might call it a rubber. Other people might call it the sealant or sealer or something like that. But I pretty much stick with grommet or head gasket. Good. Grommet is what they call the bushings on a skateboard. You know what I mean? You know what I mean. I know you do. You play Tony Hawk Pro Skater, right? You go to the skate shop and get new decks, right? Of course. You're cool. You're watching the JJ Styles Triple Zip Uno here on Twitch and maybe or possibly JJ Styles Rocks on YouTube. That would be really cool if you have bandwidth to watch both. Because I could really use like the numbers. Don't take you seriously if you don't have the numbers. Just saying, if you could like watch both at the same time, that could be super cool and respectful of you. And also super respectable. I'd totally respect that. You respecting me and being respectful, that is totally respectable. I respect that. So just let me know. Okay. Not patronizing you. It's something easy to forget, right? We're all convenience based creatures, are we not? Yeah, so it's a real convenience when I have the numbers I require for people to respect me. I think I did have this back. Here, maybe it's more like this. Spring out of the way. I don't know if I had it right initially. I don't think I don't know. This doesn't seem right. It's right here. Do I have a part missing or something? It's up with them. But this feels like it should have a plug. Because the air is just going to come out of here. You know? Would it help if I do this? You'd like to follow along, wouldn't you? Probably, faithful viewers. It's pretty simple stuff if you know what you're doing. Yeah, you know that you're an advanced level head psychonaut when you're getting all MacGyver with the materials that you use to get high. That's some pretty high skill level experience point shit, right? Why isn't this my I'm having technical difficulty? Oh, there, no longer. Okay. Come on, mouse. I have a magic mouse around here somewhere. I was trying to have a shortcut using this one. Oh yeah, I was kind of hoping I could repair this
Huh? With you guys? Because this is like repairs and reviews. Well, shit, man. If I was gonna repair this, first of all, I'd want to be all like fucking flat out. Flat out. Huh. See that? It's like a screw. How do I know that they hide it there? This ain't my first rodeo, kid. I know these manufacturers. They try to be tricky and they try to. Oh, mute button. Sorry. Hello? All right. Apparently, I gotta wait for my insurance to approve my prescription. That's fine by me. I'm not done with my old one. I'm not trying to get anything that I haven't earned yet. I'm a video game player, and I don't try to buy things when I don't have the credits to, and I don't try to level up when I don't have the experience points. That's called cheating. And if you're a good gamer, if you're skilled, if you're a skilled gamer, you don't need to cheat because you got mad motherfucking skills. I don't need to cheat in life. It would be sometimes it would be nice to, but you know, if you're just trying to live, you aren't too worried about cheating and gaming the system. If you're just having fun and you're just screwing around, well then it is fun to cheat the system. But yeah, man, because there's nothing at risk. You're not risking anything. It's like if you get like food stamps or whatever, I don't. But if you do, and you like to game the system by selling your food stamps to your drug dealer or something, I've heard of that. You know, good for you. Just don't get caught or you'll never get food stamps ever again. And then you're like, no, that's not true, JJ. I've been caught and I still get food stamps. Well, good for you, man. Whatever. You know, life isn't supposed to be fun. Games are supposed to be fun. Life isn't supposed to be fun. Life is supposed to be survival and studying and fixing things and building things. That's life, motherfucker. And if you want to play games all day and have fun, I can't blame you. Because it ain't too fun living life. It ain't. You're lucky if you don't get bombed by a bomb, an explosive. You're lucky if you don't get shot by a stray bullet. You're lucky if you don't get poisoned by a contaminant in your food or water supply. You're lucky. All of you are lucky. Whether you know it or not. All right. God damn it. I need. Okay, this should work. I think. Maybe. Maybe this one doesn't have a screw underneath. Maybe that's why I'm having a difficult time. This one has a screw right there. Maybe this one doesn't. Maybe that's why the panel isn't coming off as easily. So I'm going to focus on removing this one that I've exposed. Maybe, just maybe, that'll be enough for me to do what needs to be done. All right?
Maybe. 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 Okay, I got that. Psychedelic, dude. Whoa. Okay. Yeah, there's obviously something holding it together right here. So, guess what that means? That means that we do need to remove this one right here. If you can tell what it is. I know, it's so psychedelic, right? Like I was saying on a previous episode, I could take this back to the store. It is within the realm of the days. Like, there's still time to return it. It's not been 30 days, but I don't want to. It's just gonna wind up in a landfill. I'm gonna throw it away. It's not useful. They can't sell it again at a markdown rate unless it gets refurbished. But this ain't gonna get refurbished. This thing's barely worth anything. It's just a little bit of plastic and silicon, and, and a little bit of metal. And it's like it's easier to throw it away than it is to refurbish it. Like a computer, like the iMac putting the new display on earlier, like I did. Like that's worth it because it still works and it's just fine. You know, you people throw things away like it's going out of fashion. It's no wonder why you're so willing to watch people die right in front of you. It's a matter of value. You have to value things to value life. Like valuing things is the starting point for valuing life. You know, that's what I think. It's a difficult concept to even understand that life is life. If you're a child, you might think that the world revolves around you. I thought that for about a day until I got sent to school and realized everybody else was thinking the same thing, you know? So it's like, okay, yeah, it's not a video game. I'm not the star of this title. I guess maybe I should appreciate other people and I should appreciate things. Well, everybody appreciates things. Everybody likes nice things. I could use nice things right now. How am I going to get this thing open, huh? I got better tools than that. Here, I got nice things. And I was supposed to be putting this on video. Let me see if I can do. Oh, excuse me. Let's see if I can do that. Let me see if I can show you the respect of making a nice video. Oh, yes, I can. It's still going to be psychedelic, though. Okay? Because why should I change who I am? I'm a trippy dude. I am a very trippy dude. Whoa, dude, that's trippy. Oops. Yeah, I am a trippy dude. I almost forgot right now as I'm adding this cam. After I just said what I said, yeah, I almost forgot. There we go. That's trippy. Mm-hmm. Hella trippy. Okay. Oh no. Oh boy. Oh no. Where were we? Oh yes, my awesome, highly respectable tools. What? Oh. I like this tool set. This is made for video game shit, and I think it says Shinobi. Come on, trippy camera, you can do better than that. Shinobi. It's like I have to show it to you the right way. Shinobi. Otherwise, you'll never see it. And if everything's all clouded like it is right now, like all trippy, yeah, you gotta. I really do have to show it to you the right way, or you'll never get it. And I say Shinobi, Shinobi. It's all recessed into the plastic like some kind of a stamp. Yeah, you just saw it real good. Everybody knows what I mean now. Maybe you saw it first a minute ago when it wasn't quite as clear. Yeah, well, you're keen and you're astute. You should probably be helping me. Because if you're slow and it took you that until that last time to see Shinobi, you're probably incapable of helping me because you're not sharp enough. I this world is difficult and it requires sharp people. You get it? And if everything's been handed to you your whole life, you might not get it. Because if you just got to go to a nice school and get a nice degree, you're not going to know. You're going to think you're real smart because you're real privileged and it was all given to you. And you might be real smart, but if you don't have experience points with everything, you just ain't that smart. You got to have experience points. You got to have a well-rounded character. If you play a role-playing game, are you happy if your mage only has mage skills? That sucks, right? They should have a little, you know, body, so they don't get killed instantly. Or if all they have is magic skills, they better be able to cast a shield spell. That's for damn sure. Because otherwise, they will go down after one hit. You know what I mean? It's good to be well rounded, but at the same time, if you're going to specialize, well, you better know everything. That's for damn sure. So, what about the Shinobi? Sorry, I collect all my bits and pieces. Now that I have the magic mouse, I really don't need to do this, but I think this will be an easy fix. Oh, I've been wanting to do this, so that's ridiculous. Maybe I don't need to be so trippy. Like I have a choice. Sometimes I don't have to be so. It's a little less trippy. At least we're specialized. We're focusing on one thing, even though you can still see this is on the top layer. So it's the priority now. It's what you call prioritizing, focusing, and showing respect for your viewers.
So I'm going to try to use this flathead piece right here. So that way I can pop off these little trapdoors that they put on this Game Punk mouse to try to keep me from getting at its guts. There's only a few potential panels. You know, I already removed the one that was here, and I stuck it right here so I wouldn't lose it. Right here, it was right there, now it's right there. You can see. Okay, now I'm going to try to pop off more of these. All right, using any means possible, no doubt. I'm going to fuck this thing up right now because I don't care about these little panels. I don't need them. I'd rather see the screw holes at all times. So I'm going to scratch them off. I don't give a fuck what it looks like. I need it to function, and that's it. Alright, I don't think there's any screw holes here. Feels pretty solid. So now that looks punk rock. That right there. See all the scratches I put on it? It's totally punk rock now. Yeah, well, whatever. I'm totally punk rock. Totally cyberpunk punk rock. And I'm like, fuck. Okay, this is about ready to fall. Whoa! Don't break the plastic. Okay, here we go. Yeah! Hey. No screw holes? Oh, I didn't need to do that to either one of them. That's a shame. Oh well. You know, if I own it, it probably should look bad. Everything I own is falling apart. It's no big deal. Sometimes when I refurbish crap like this, sometimes I go out of my way to restore and refurbish. You know, the restoration has to do with the looks, right? Whereas the refurbishing has to do with the functionality. That's the way I'm not an engineer by training. I've known a few engineers, but like they didn't train me. Yes or what? Well, I don't know. That's what I think refurbishing is referring to. It's, fixing it and making it function, whereas restoring has to do with the looks. Okay? And both are basically important, but I really think that the functionality is the most important. Okay? Just saying. Aesthetics are very important. I'm an artist. Of course, I appreciate good aesthetics. And of course, I have my own particular taste with regards to aesthetics. But let's be real, okay? Aesthetics are less important than function. Like, if you have a broken down car that doesn't run, what does it matter if it looks good? You're never going to take it anywhere. Get it? It's nice to look good while you execute. It's like if you're a gymnast and you're going to end your set with a 3-point landing. Yeah, it's real nice if you can make it through your set to begin with. Otherwise, what's the 3-point landing all about? Seems like a lot of people never get anything done in life because they're more concerned with the 3-point landing than they are getting the job done. So they never start the job in the first place because they're too focused on getting the 3-point landing right. It's like if you want to ride a skateboard and you're more concerned about doing a kickflip than you are about actually just being able to make the wheels roll. Well, you're never going to become a skateboarder, are you? Because you're too busy trying to do a kickflip and an ollie when you should be skating to the store to get some cigarettes or something like that. There's still some. Oh, I see. There's one more panel. Okay. No big deal. Cyberpunk Punk Hacker Supreme to the rescue and shit. hmm Yeah, I hate filling up landfills. I'm not gonna do that if I don't have to. Mhm. Two more screws left. Okay. Let's do this to this like some kind of psychotic, twisted, nudist Buddhist. It's all high on whippets. Do this to this. Do this to this. Like a nudist Buddhist. Right, game punk. Feel lucky, punk. Now, here's something that I find to be an interesting phenomenon. All right. Now that I got the fucking thing open, and also I have something to show you because it's open. It's like open source. It's transparent. Yeah, you get the picture, kid, don't you? You know what I'm talking about. Mm, mm, um, mm, okay, back to business. I find this to be an interesting phenomenon. I think that this makes people seem kind of insecure. You know, this is what they call heft. I don't know if you've ever heard the term heft or hefty. That refers to something being strong or solid, right? Like heft, I think tends to do with the weight of an object. So it feels hefty if it's strong and it feels solid. All these gaming accessories that they make these days have weights inside of them. I don't need that shit. I'm gonna remove it. I like a featherweight, light human input device. Don't get me wrong, I do like it to be sturdy, but I am not gonna mistake heftiness for sturdiness. I am savvier than that. I am not naive, and I don't need extra weight because I am a pencil neck weakling due to all my injuries. I'm a wimp, I'm a weakling, and I fully admit it because I'm disabled, motherfucker. So if you think that's an insult to call me a wimpy weakling, then I think that you're prejudiced because that's not an insult, that's the truth. I don't like pain, that makes me a wimp. They say no pain, no gain. I say I don't need gain. Thanks very much. I'll stay where I am. I don't need to gain a goddamn thing. So, that feels better already. Now then, as you can see, this this left this left one works. When I press it down, wait a minute. What's up with this? I think it's like, okay, it is working. I see. Oh no! Oh no! I see what happened. I don't know how that happened. I wonder if I can find the piece and glue it back on. See, here's the deal. This little plastic box right here, that black plastic box. Yeah, this one on the right, the one that doesn't click, doesn't have that black plastic box. Okay? See, this one has a black plastic box. This one doesn't. And that's the reason why this flap, that black plastic box, was holding it down, and it was also activating the click mechanism. You know what? I don't think I want to use this anymore anyways. I think I have an alternative. I think. I hope. I'm not certain if this is a Game Punk mouse. This is a monster. This is a monster brand mouse, right? It's a little dusty. I was planning on repairing this, but if I can fit the board into this freaking casing, I'm gonna use it. Because I prefer that case anyway. I think I can. It looks like there's no reason why I can't. It's quite here. Let me see if I can reference the one over here. I think this might. Is this it? Is this it? No, not it. Is this it? I think this is it. Yeah, yeah. I think that this board came out of this mouse in particular, right? It seems to fit perfectly. So then, if this board is basically the same shape and stuff, this one is a lot longer. It is elongated. I think it can still work though. I have faith. I'm going to have faith because if I don't have faith, I'm not going to try. I need to try. For the sake of the landfill and for the sake of my computing activities, I have to have faith in myself. I have to have courage. And I have to be willing to make a sacrifice. I think most elite hackers are totally familiar with what I speak of. Granted, they usually take risks with like $1,000 graphics cards and shit like that. Yeah, man, no doubt. Well, hey, maybe some doubt. Hey, man, if they're a real hacker, they probably have a scam worked out where if they trash the card, they can still return it and get their money back somehow. You know what I mean? I didn't do this terribly often, but I had a technique where I could take a Nintendo cartridge when I was a little guy, and I could pop the cartridge right out. And that back when people used to rent video game cartridges from Blockbuster and crap like that, that was a pretty useful skill to have. I mean, need I say more? Uh-oh. What's up with this? Oh. Oh no. Rats. Did I mod this? No. I think I. Yeah. How important is a scroll wheel to you, JJ? A scroll wheel, pretty important. Yeah, right. Huh. Well then, this is a pretty bad idea. This probably isn't going to work. But who knows? Maybe I could take the lid, and I could put it on the base of the Game Punk mouse that the board came from. Maybe this will fit. Maybe the screws line up right. This will be an ugly hack. But if it works, I could care less. I'm just about the ugliest person and the most beautiful person I know. So, fuck it, man. Totally fuck it. If it works, it works. Let's see. Crossing my fingers, man. That's right. Huh. I think it might. It's crazy. That can't work. Really? There's no way. Well, that's the way to line it up. If it's gonna work, that's the way to do it. I'll try. Fuck it, man. I'll try. I'm crazy. I'm a crazy mad scientist hacker guy. as long as it works and it's comfortable and like something that isn't going to fall apart immediately, I'm totally okay with it. No doubt. You think I'm here to impress anybody? I'm here to impress myself and myself only. And I only respect people that impress me. So, I mean, I respect your life. I respect your stupid bullshit religion. But I don't respect you, like, look up to you. I don't want to be like you. I want to be like me. And I want to be like me if I had even more skills. I'm not here to impress people I don't even know. What is this? Keeping up with the Joneses? That's what they used to call. Oh, uh-oh. I'm supposed to keep this inside of the freaking panel. Okay, it's okay. It's okay. You know, before the Kardashians, keeping up with the Kardashians. Yeah, man, that's a reference to the Joneses. You're supposed to be keeping up with the Joneses. But, you know, the Kardashians are billionaires or some shit. So it's really funny to say keeping up with the Kardashians. Like, I'd like to see you do that. But also, keeping up means like keeping tabs, like keeping up with the news or whatever. So it's kind of a double concept. Be keeping up with the Kardashians. It's like you're in a competition, you're keeping up. Oh, but you're also just a fan and you want your updates and gossip. It's a double entendre. Okay. What do I do about the scroll wheel? Let's put it in. I should have done that before I put it back together. One more time! I put it back together the wrong way 3 times already. I'm starting to get a backache, so let's wrap this up. Come on, kid. Hurry it up. I know that your little webcam is important and your fans are important. Yeah, but let's wrap it up. They're not that important. It's not worth a backache. Yeah, sorry. Hey, at least I'm being honest and I'm not patronizing you. That's showing you respect. My back is way more important than you. You're not going to take that personal. You shouldn't. I'm basically saving my own neck. When I say that, I'm prioritizing my neck over your viewing habits and enjoyment. I think this is gonna work. It's gonna work. I think I can put a screw hole in here. I think it's gonna work. This is ridiculous. This mouse is ridiculous. I love it. God damn it! Getting a phone call. Hold on. What the fuck do you want? Hello? Huh? Oh, I don't know. It would be pretty neat to have a pot of shrimp, chicken, and steak divided evenly. Sounds fun. Bye-bye. What? What? Okay. God damn it. Oops. Okay. All right. I dropped the screw. Butterfingers. It's okay. I got it under control, I guess. Here, let me try this screw hole. Is this the one I was thinking? I don't know. That doesn't feel like it's ready. Huh. Okay. Maybe I was thinking of this one. Could be. Maybe this isn't going to work out. Then again, maybe I don't have to use the godforsaken screws. Maybe I can find a different way to keep this contraption together. Maybe. Maybe. Possibly. I think I see a way already.
Here. You know, before I get too carried away, let's plug this into the computer and try it. All right? All right, folks. Let's try it. If it works, I will then go ahead and figure out how to fasten this together because it looks like the screw holes ain't gonna align as well as I thought. That's okay though. I'll settle for anything as long as it's good enough. As long as it's good enough. What in the? Oh, I see. Oh, well, maybe I could repair it. This is the plastic part that broke off. I'll keep it in my cigarette ashtray. Maybe that's the right thing to do, is to just glue that back on and use this the way God intended. Or not necessarily God, but the good people at GamePunk Computer Accessories. GamePunk makes game stuff for punks. Is that their motto? I don't know. Such a loser. Oh my god, it's so funny. I feel like a cartoon character. My life is so ridiculous. It's like I'm a cartoon character a lot of the time. Oh well. You know, cartoon characters don't get hurt. They get lumps on their heads, but the lumps don't actually hurt. I believe that. I'm starting to like my idea that I just did this last one of gluing the box back on there. So that's like, yeah, this one doesn't have the box. This one has the box. And this part right here that's covered with cigarette ashes now, that's the box. So fuck it, man. I'm done. My neck hurts. Let me get my super glue, otherwise known as rapid fuse, because super glue is a trademark brand name, and I don't like super glue. That shit's weak. I like rapid fuse. That gets the job. Believe you me. Yeah, fuck super glue. I don't endorse that shit. That's for pussies and amateurs, baby. You don't know what you're doing if you use super glue. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying. I won't patronize you. If you're watching this, you're savvy. Oh, it's muted! Sorry. I just saw the blinking light. I'm gonna use rapid fuse because super glue is for amateurs, is what I was saying. Okay? Alright. And hopefully this doesn't glue anything together that isn't supposed to be. Right? Okay. Here goes nothing. Dude, I gotta have more precision than this. This is not precise enough. Here. It's not gonna glue just yet. It's not gonna dry just yet, but I gotta hurry. Time is of the essence. Alright? Here goes nothing. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. I know, I'm such a by the seat of my pants person. It's ridiculous. How do I ever get anything done? Good question. Huh? Is that good? That's pretty good. That might suffice. I like it. I think it will suffice. I hope. I hope. I hope. Oh no. It's tricky. At least it's already broken. It isn't like I can break it any worse. Right? You know, some of these game punks are so privileged that they actually buy equipment with the intentions of modding it.
and then they break it, and then they just like get a new one because it's no sweat. I'm like, damn, I wish you were my sponsor or something. Maybe my neighbor, you privileged little game punk. God damn, you're cool. You just buy a GTX 5000 and just to overclock, and then you burn it out and buy a new one. Yeah, if I had more friends like that, I'd go places. Oh well, I don't have. I practically don't have any friends left. They're kind of all dead on me. Living in America. Living in America. That was a hit song back in the day. I'm gonna go hold this in front of the oscillating fan in the hopes that it'll dry quickly because I need that. I don't want to waste time, yours or mine. Super glue? Really, JJ? Hey, rapid fuse. I don't use super. I've tried to explain it to people. Sometimes they don't get it. So I've kept this little memento, or perhaps you could say a knickknack. Let me see if I can get it for you. This is a good example of what you get with a rapid fuse. If I can find it, it should be right here. Where is it? Is it right here? Is it right here? Come on, man. Whoa! There goes my Rogaine. Oh, shit. Fuck me. Running. Ah! Oh, no. What was that? Oh, I see. That's a battery. Yeah, whatever. All right. Ah, God. I was going to glue those. Those are my sunglasses. Jesus Christ, man. Gotta get my shit together one of these days. I'm telling you. Somehow. It's cool, man. Like, I give a fuck. Oh, is this in? Oh, I think is this it? It's like I'm not trying to impress you with my luxury. I'm trying to impress you with my originalness, man. I am the original streamer in more ways than one. Now that's a double entendre. You want to keep up with the Kardashians? Be my guest. Whether you're keeping up on the news or competing to be the richer person, that's great. Meanwhile, I'm the most original one. Why? Because I was the first, and because I was the most unique, and because I still am both of those things. So that's a double entendre. I can't find it. Oh well, it's a knickknack that looks like a great big chunk of plastic, but it's really the rapid fuse at the bottom of the bottle. Maybe you've seen it before. I've shown it to you a couple times before. It's a pretty good. It gives you a good idea of what you're working with. It's like when you see the product in one lump like that, it's like really that's what it drives and turns into. That looks like a solid fucking product, don't it? That ain't gonna break. That's hard like a rock. It's like hard as my head. My head. I think this is dry enough. Okay. Okay, guys. Let's try to go back to the original plan of just fixing the Game Punk mouse. Hopefully that will do it. Hopefully. Because I really need a right mouse button. That's something I can't live without in this modern computing age that we live in, right? Could you live without a right mouse button? Yeah, I didn't think so, buddy. No doubt, right? I have to thread this through the maze of the parts. Otherwise, the cables will impede the functionality. This is not a very technical, video. Like I say, I'm more demonstrating how unique I am and original rather than trying to impress you with my technical wizardry. That's really what this is about. It's a how to be unique and how to be yourself video. If you've ever seen such a thing, how to be yourself as opposed to some kind of a cartoon caricature of who you really are. Yeah, exactly. Sometimes you guys kind of look like a bunch of cartoon characters to me because I can't take you seriously when you're too busy trying to keep up with the Kardashians in the form of live in the lap of luxury. Maybe you should just keep up with the Kardashians by knowing what they did on the last episode. Yeah. Funny. I get it. How original. Indeed. Okay. What happened to those oops. Are these the ones? I think these are the ones. Maybe. Are these? Where did these come from? These aren't. These can't be right. Anybody see the? I only got one freaking screw, and there's supposed to be four holding this contraption together. Let's see if I can right click yet. Jesus. Everything's such a hassle these days, isn't it? I thought it was supposed to be modern conveniences, not modern hassles. Yeah, whatever. Living in a virtual reality is a convenience, and it's definitely worth it. Because reality right now sucks donkey balls with a lot of people, including yours truly, the original one. Yeah, right. I'd much prefer a virtual. Not only are the resources unlimited in a virtual, kind of world, yet unlimited resources. Also, you don't get hurt. Like, even if you have a life bar in a virtual world, it's like you aren't really getting hurt. Your avatar, your representative in the game is getting hurt. And that's a lot easier to deal with. Trust me. It's a lot less expensive. It's a lot less painful. It's a lot less trouble. And if worse comes to worse, and you can't resurrect your character, you can play a different title in a virtual world. In the real world, there is no alternative. There is never an alternative when you need one. Ever. 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 Okay, wish me luck. What was I gonna do with the right click anyway? I can't remember. Here, let's try this. What's I gonna do? I don't even know. I was desperately needing to right click. What was I desperately needing to right? Fuck it, man. Here, I'm gonna right click. I'm gonna shrink this window. Alright, there's my mouse. Right click. It doesn't work. Ah. I guess I didn't wait long enough. Motherfucker, I'm gonna fuck you up, you little bitch. Cooperate with me. If you don't cooperate, I'm gonna put a bullet in you and I'll make a video out of it. You son of a bitch. Cooperate with me now! I order you, game punk. You better cooperate with me, you little fucking game punk. I will fuck you up. You know I will. You know I can. I'm an old man. It's not my first rodeo. I have fucked people up before. Pretty good. In virtual reality and reality. I don't really want to talk about it. I'm not sure if I have, like, what you call it, statute of limitations. Might have been recent. I can't remember. fuck a motherfucker up if I have to. I don't want to ever. But some people really deserve it. They'll fuck you up even worse. That's a punk. They might call you a punk, but really the person that's ready to totally fuck up your life, that's the punk. I'm totally ready to fuck up your life, though. Not if you're not if you're my friend, I'm not gonna fuck up your life. I'm not gonna exploit your friendship. But I can read people. I can tell if you have ill intentions, and I'll fuck you up before you even get a chance to fuck me up. Yeah, mind control is a fun discipline to study because it's not about controlling other people's minds. It's about controlling minds. It's about controlling your own mind. That's really what you end up learning when you study things like Operation Mind Control, Project Paperclip, like fucking Monarch Butterflies and all that shit. Yeah, this rapid fuse, this was a difficult little, it didn't stay. It's okay. I could tell that this was kind of ramshackle. The nice thing is, the more roughed up the edges are on the broken thing, it's like the more likely it is to finally stick when we get it right. So the first try, I failed, but now we've got a little bit of the rapid fuse on here. It's almost like as if we've been soldering, and now there's like some solder already on there, so it's gonna stick better when we do get it right. It's not the end of the world to fail and look foolish, because if you keep continuing, it's gonna give you a leg up eventually. And it does look foolish to spend an hour trying to fix a $12 mouse. Hey, I really like this mouse, so get over it. It's not that foolish. This thing does snap together with a bunch of little whatchamacallit, I guess snaps. Those things that like click together, It's like a hook. I think it's just called a snap. I don't know. Not a professional engineer. Professional software engineer, basically. Not a professional mechanical engineer. Definitely not. Absolutely. Never going to be mistaken for that. So, who's counting? Are you counting? If anybody's counting, please assassinate that person, because I'm not counting. And I don't need anybody counting. I need people to count on. I don't need people counting how many times I fucked up. Right? That's what I need. So you can just kill that person. I have no empathy or sympathy for them. They are just waiting for me to fuck up. Those people that are like that. That's pretty annoying. You can tell that's no friend to humanity. Yeah, fuck them. Is this one? There's some way, like, I'm supposed to start maybe with this latch. Maybe this is the one to start with. There's some way. It's a bit of a puzzle. A little bit of a puzzle. I think I'm figuring it out. I think it works better if you start at the bottom. Anybody got a flathead? Need a flathead over here. All right, thanks. Oops. Here we go. Got this. Oops, don't snap it. Then I gotta glue something else with the back. Okay. Goodness gracious. I wanted to give you a better visual demonstration. Are you looking at my ass? Is that all you can see? Sorry.
It's not a very good demonstration. Hey, man. A good demonstration of my ass. Okay. Quite a how-to video. Jesus Christ. Right. Woo! Woo-hoo. Well, I lie and I'm easy all of the time that I never show why I need you, but I need you. Woo-hoo! Woo-hoo! One more flathead, huh? Something like a flathead. How about this? It's like, come on, man. I got 3 things here. I just gotta undo this last snap. Oh, I got it. Cool. Oh, but there's other snaps. Oh, no, there aren't. Cool. Now I can fix this the right way. Okay. Here. See that? That's where it broke off. Whoops. That. I'm terrible at this camera stuff. I'm a terrible video producer, but I'm a very interesting person. Who's counting? Not me. Okay. I thought I was going to do so many liquids today. Instead, I'm just getting high on hacking, high on life, not really. High on hacking, basic. Mm-hmm. That'll do, pig. That'll do. Dave the Pig won a Grammy, or not a Grammy, an Oscar. That'll do, pig. I think it's very ironic and very funny when people talk about pigs, that say pig this, pig that, with regards to humans and trying to put them down. I find it ironic because pigs are like cleaner and smarter than a lot of people I've met. Hello. I'll be right back. Bye bye. Well, I'm gonna have to go. So that'll do it for this How to Be Original video, brought to you by the original one himself. So thanks for watching, and happy birthday, Father. You know, that guy. He's pretty crazy. He was even more original than me. No way. Pretty much. Have fun. Be safe.